Be patient, like trying to get someone into bed. Don't rush it. The longer term relationships probably take a little bit longer. Probably have to wine and dine them and go on dates and spend some money on them. Fuck me, that's...
With Instagram stories, a lot of coaches kind of do the same things as other online coaches, but they're also doing it wrong.
When coaches say to me, I don't know what to post on my stories, I'm really boring. When I say to them, stop posting fitness and post more of your life.
You're not a fitness account. You're a personal account. You've got a personal brand. Here are the things that you need to fix with your Instagram stories to get better engagement as an online coach and to get more clients, right?
We are Dan and Mike, and we're here to help you with your online fitness business in any way we can. And today we're going to talk about Instagram stories and why it's one of the most neglected tools on Instagram that is costing coaches conversations, relationships with potential clients, and ultimately a better business in the long term.
There we go. So it's one of my biggest bugbears is stories.
Oh, don't get me started on
it. I hate watching coaches on their stories.
I don't watch them.
Some.
That's what I can't watch them anymore. But
some of our clients I like watching, obviously.
It's just knowing how to use it effectively and kind of what the purpose of them is. And we realised we haven't really done a YouTube video on this, and
I almost don't want to give away these secrets.
I agree with you. Maybe this should be a lead magnet. Maybe that should be a lead magnet.
Because I don't want to give these away because
I don't.
Sophie.
Okay, let's not then. Let's just talk about what you need to do on it, right? And some really generic advice, and then it's fine though, because what happened is all the other stuff we talk about is absolute gold, and no one applies it. So.
Let's give it away. Let's give it away. Should we give it away?
Can't give it away. Can we?
Yeah, give it away.
Oh,
give away your best.
See what we're doing.
Give away your best stuff for free, right? It'll reward you in the end.
Alan Hormozy says that.
Yeah, Alan. Yeah,
Alan? Is it Alan? Alex.
It is Alan. Alex.
Read his book once, so
yeah.
It's in his book, is it? This one? I don't think.
No. So with Instagram stories, a lot of coaches kind of do the same things as other online coaches, and I believe that they do the same things as other online coaches because they don't know how an online coach should post. So they copy other online coaches, but they're also doing it wrong. So my point is that most online coaches will use their stories as like an afterthought and a place to share where, what their clients are doing, something that they've been tagged in, or a place for them to share a motivational meme or reel or something like that, right? That's what most coaches do. And they do that, I believe, because the next coach does it, and the next coach does it, and the next coach does it, and the next coach does it, because that's just what online coaches do. They do this with their clients. And it's fucking boring.
So this all comes from, we talked about this a little bit on one of these YouTube videos before about behind the scenes documentaries and kind of like why people like watching them and why people like watching, Big Brother and Love Island for some reason. I always do that, right? But this is kind of the point about this, what we're talking about Instagram stories. I've never watched it, right? I don't really care for it. I'm sure if I watched it, I might be like, oh, it's actually not too bad, whatever, right? I love to hate it. I'd rather be the person who talks against it, right? And we'll talk about Instagram stories and why it's a place for your opinions. And it should just be absolutely bombarding the world with your opinions on Instagram stories of life, not of fitness. No one gives a fuck about fitness on Instagram stories, but everyone likes behind-the-scenes documentaries. Everyone likes this stuff, right? So I use Big Brother as an example all the time. When coaches say to me, I don't know what to post on my stories, I'm really boring. When I say to them, stop posting fitness and post more of your life.
Isn't it mad, though? I'll stop you there, because we've obviously just discussed this before, where it's like coaches think they're really boring. What? More boring than sharing tagged things about your clients hitting a PB on my PT Hub. What? So your life is more boring than that? I guarantee you it's not.
Yeah. So people like watching Big Brother, for example, let's say, because there's personalities in there of different people. Now, they're all in a house doing absolutely fuck all. They might be given tasks to do all this sort of crap, right, and all this sort of stuff. But the reason you like watching it is because you have your favourite person in there. Mike's favourite person on Love Island at the moment is...
Oh, see, this is tough. Don't just get me started on this. This could be about half an hour YouTube video.
Okay, here we go. He's had to think about it. So there we go. Straight off the bat, he's had to think about it.
Okay,
right?
So I quite like Tyreek. He makes me laugh.
Quite like Tyreek. I bet there's people watching this and go, Tyreek's a knob.
Yeah, probably.
There will be, right?
Zach is quite cool, although he...
Why have they got shit names? Why are they not normal names? Where's John? Where's Nigel? Do you know what I mean? What's with the common names?
John and Nigel. Sorry, what?
Old school names.
Yeah, what generation are you in?
Yeah, it's just funny. I'm old, mate. But it's this whole thing around like different people have different favourites.
What's
like,
up with Zach?
I'm a celeb. I was thinking more Tyreek, but whatever.
Yeah.
If people have like favorites when it comes to I'm a celebrity, right? People like to have their favorites. They have people they don't like, all this sort of stuff, right? It's why a lot of these celebs, like someone like Matt Hancock, Hancock, no D, Hancock, went into I'm a Celebrity.
No D.
Right? Went in there because his PR team were like, this is a good opportunity for you to put your personality across and show people that you're a normal human. And he actually did all right, I think, in the back end.
I think he came like second.
I think he's an absolute fucking knob for what he did, but whatever. It shows the person behind the health secretary that everyone hated. It shows the person, the family man, and the reasons why, right? We've talked about Arsenal behind-the-scenes documentary, all this sort of stuff. It's not about the football, it's about the humans and the people and how they are and how they interact. That is what your Instagram stories is for you. Is you need to share your life, what you're doing in your day, and your opinions of what you're doing. Like, for example, Black Coffee, one of our favorite creators, works with me. Steve does it every single day. He posts his oat milk cortado. I know what fucking coffee he drinks. He puts a sugar in it, I think, as well, because he's a child, and he slags off black coffee. Every day he gets messages about his coffee choice. Every day he gets messages from people saying, yeah, you're right, or yeah, you're wrong. Every single day. Those people have conversations with him. They then become his client over time. They get more interested in what he offers, his free stuff, all that sort of shit, right? He doesn't just go, coffee, that's it. Like a lot of people do on their Instagram stories, because they post their life and it's boring. It's not about your life and what's boring. It's about consistency, the continuity, and having your opinion on certain things you're doing.
Yeah, so like, think about how you use social media and Instagram. If you see somebody's story and there's 20 fucking slides and you start the first couple and they're reshares of something else that they're tagged in, right? What do? You swipe straight past it and you go on to the next story.
Yeah.
You don't even click through, you just swipe off it.
Depends how many there are.
Yeah. Like, you just swipe off it. So now let's counter that and go, well, what stories are you more inclined to watch? So
when Mike says, I'm going to tell you a time about a funny story.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. So like literally when you have something that hooks people in, that engages people, just like every other form of content, stories is a form of content.
Story.
Yeah. It's your story of the day. Like, what do you want to tell people? Because telling people that your client just used 17.5 kilo dumbbells on a shoulder press because they've sent a screenshot, your followers don't give a toss about what your clients are doing in the gym. They care about themselves and how likely they are to get a result. So yes, show social proof, but not in the form of daily messages about whether your clients have hit a PB or not. That's not what you should be using it for. And it kills engagement. So Instagram doesn't want you resharing, reposting to your Instagram stories because it's not seen as authentic content. It will push authentic content and kill basically inauthentic content.
So with that as well, though, the whole thing with stories is it's algorithm based just in the same way that posts are. And the way it's done on Instagram stories is how long people are interacting on that story for. So as Mike just said there about all those people would post all the different, it's like Trainer Eyes on my PT about something where people reshare their client wins and their client hit a PB, or I've seen it before, people do like a Canva image of like a accountability tracker and their clients fill it in every day and they just repost 20 of them a day. It means fuck all to people, right? But it's not only that, it's not about whether, I don't think Instagram want you to reshare it. I agree with you. It's not original content. It's also the fact that people click for it so quickly, it tells Instagram, no one's engaging with it, don't show it to people. So it's as much that. So I post a lot of like long written stories with my opinion on. Now, why do you think I do that rather than splitting it over 20 different stories? Because those that are interested hold their thumb down on it and they spend more time on that story. Now, if that story accumulates 20 seconds of watch time because it takes 20 seconds for someone to read it, do you think Instagram's going to show that to more or less people that follow me? More people. It's the same thing over time. It's like you need to think about these things. It's the same with like polls. When someone clicks on a poll, right? I had this day from a client. I put a poll up asking who was interested in fat loss and muscle gain. Like I had like 3 people vote. Yeah, okay, cool. Now I'll post about whether someone likes black coffee or milky coffee. Oh yeah, I had 100 votes. Right. So what does that tell you about their stories? No one gives a fuck about fat loss, muscle gain on stories. They want to give their opinion on certain things. They want to have fun with it. Post more of that. So that poll then gets sent to more people because more people click on it. They want more opinions, right? It's a game. Instagram is gamified. That's all it is as an app. They want more people spending more time on there. So use that to your advantage and post stuff that people either want to read, want to interact with, or want to share with their friends.
So again, like just going back to my point of what you watch. So are you more inclined to watch somebody else with interesting topics, with games, with polls, with quizzes, with something that you want to have an opinion on. If I saw somebody had an opinion on something that my biggest voted poll of all time was, do you wipe your bum stood up or sat down? Like, because everybody,
Sat down,
and I stand up, so different wipes for different needs. So again,
just comment below. Do you sit
comment
down?
Comment below, sit down or stand up.
Because you'll realise how wrong people are when they stand up.
So but the point of it is that people would vote on it because it's weird, it's a pattern interrupt, it's obviously it's a bit of a bizarre subject, and it also is probably something that they've never been asked in their life, and they probably assume that everybody does it the exact same way because you don't regularly see other people wipe their bum, right?
Not regularly. Not regularly. What do you mean? Occasionally?
Not often. Yeah. Well, just events and stuff, like special occasions. So then people will vote to see whether they're right, whether what they're doing is right or wrong. And then, of course, the engagement that comes off the back of that was, fuck off, I can't believe people stand up. No way do people sit down. Like, it's a no-brainer. But again, coaches are more inclined to post about fitness or things that they believe that they should be posting because they're a fitness account. You're not a fitness account. You're a personal account. You've got a personal brand. Like, again, when you look at branding and you look at somebody, again, we use Alex Hormozy a lot, and you look at branding and you go, okay, so I can probably name more things about him that from the personal perspective than I could do a business perspective. Yes, he owns acquisition.com. Yes, he's done Gym Launch. Yes, he knows a lot, about a lot of things. Yes, he's good at building businesses. Yes, he's got a couple of books, whatever, right? But I also know that he wears check shirts, no strips, hat, grows his beard, grows his hair,
Crocs.
trains calves, wears Crocs, never skips dessert. Like, all of those things that add to the persona. And again, you can look at other people on Instagram. So, I mean, I'm going to mention TM Cycles, whilst obviously we're not, the best of friends. But I actually think, again, it's probably a good point of reference for some people who watch this, is that if you didn't know who he was, and if you don't know who he is, and let's just say if you followed him, he does a really good job of it, and I can't knock it, that within the next 30 days, you would know where he likes to go on holiday, what music he likes to listen to, what football team he supports, what he does on the weekend, what clothes he buys, what supplements he takes, what he's doing with his training, what he's doing with his day, like what his dog's fucking called. Like, you can't knock that. And because of that, that's why he will build a following that he has done, right?
And another example is obviously James Smith, right? Is the bigger one that people know about is that when I used to follow him, I don't follow him anymore because I don't have enough time. But when he posts his stories, when I followed him, he was in Australia and he used to go skateboarding every day down the same sort of road. He used to take a video of his skateboard there, be wearing budgie smugglers. He'd set up his video of him going into the sea. He'd be playing that game where you have like a little trampoline and you have a ball and you throw it on with all his mates. He used to have a pool in his back garden that he used to inflate up and he used to piss around in there all the time. He used to get delivery delivered. He used to live with his mates. Can't remember what they were called now, but I remember what they looked like. Every day.
Pints.
He did, pints.
Grew a mullet, grew a tash, daft sunglasses.
All that shit, right? And he used to do it all the time. And at no point did he just reshare this James Smith app PBs people were posting. At no point did he post that. No point, from what I remember seeing. But at the time, he was still pushing it because he was pushing it to his email list. He was pushing it to other forums. His stories was about telling a story from his day and about you getting to know him personally so you know, like, and trust him. And it's all we're trying to get you to understand and do is that everyone that you follow on Instagram, that you like following, does this without you realizing.
Yeah. You don't need to post fitness stuff. People know you're a coach. People know you're a coach because it says you're an online coach in your bio and you've got online coachy stuff on your feed. Use your stories to connect to your audience.
That's why they followed you, right? They followed you because they went onto your page and saw that you provide a service that they want.
You don't need to ram it even more down their throats. You use your feed to post the fitness style content that's fitness with a hint of you, and then you use your stories to post you with a hint of fitness. That it's that way round. They want to see the person behind the coach, and it's that connects to them, because people will connect to you over the things that you do outside of fitness. They won't necessarily connect to you over fitness, because if they're going to be your clients, the chances are is they're probably not in shape. They're probably not into fitness for the majority, as a rough generalization. So they're not going to connect to you over something to do with fitness. Instead, they will connect to you about Black Coffee, about Love Island, about opinions, about Oppenheimer. Oh, I've not seen that. Yeah, go and see it. Like, yeah, it's really good. Let me know what you think. Like, it's normal conversations that you would have. Imagine Imagine that you're in a bar with people. What conversations would you have with them? Have those conversations with people online. Like, it's that simple. And inevitably, if you're walking around, if you were in a bar and you had online coach on your back, and inevitably the conversation would at some point, oh, so what do you do then? So, you know.
Also with that as well, the other objection you get from people is, oh yeah, I just never really know what to say. Some stuff never really goes anywhere. So in that same example there of going into the bar and you strike up 10 conversations, probably about maybe a drink someone's got or clothes they're wearing or something like that, right? Of course, not every single conversation is going to go flying and you're going to be best friends with every single one of them. Of course it's not. That's normal. And again, it's this with coaches, they do this. They go, I start 10 conversations and only really 2 of them replied. Okay, they're the 2 you speak to then. All right.
Yeah.
Like, what you expecting? What, every single person to love you? No one does that. No one has that ability, right? So it's that thing of remembering that it's normal, real life to not have sparkling conversation with every single person you meet. That's life. It's going to happen. And that's the other thing anyway, coaches. They do, I didn't really get anything back the first time I did it. Okay, so what? Do it again then.
Keep doing it.
I've already spoke to that person. I spoke to them, always sent them a message.
Right.
Okay, so I'd hate to think how you managed to get your girlfriend to go out with you or boyfriend. Like, if that's I've already sent them a message once, so I can't send them another
that's the thing is that like people are. Do you know if we spoke about this at the event? Like, if you were using Tinder and you were dating and you're single, you'd message loads of girls or guys. Like, you'd message loads of them.
You wouldn't just do one and go,
you wouldn't do one
now.
Oh, and they didn't like me, so I just fucking delete Tinder. Like, what's the point? Yeah. No, you'd send another and you'd match with another and you'd send another. And how quick would you be responding to them as well in the app? You'd be messaging them back. You'd be trying to be funny.
Nah, you wouldn't be waiting 3 days.
Yeah,
I think in it. You'd wait 3 days.
Like, you'd try to be funny. You'd make a joke. Like, again, you'd put some effort into the responses.
You'd probably send them 3 tips on how to increase their protein.
Yeah, what you wouldn't. But coaches don't see it like that. Instead, they just won't make the effort. They won't put any effort into the reply. They'll double tap and like, and then just not carry it on.
Yeah.
So treat it like you're trying to get somebody into bed. Like, treat it like that, because technically, it kind of is a similar thing. They've got to like you enough to want to make that next step. So just like getting someone in bed, you're asking somebody to pay you money for something that you're doing.
Steady, we're going too far now.
I've never paid for it, you know. I'm not imagining anything.
All of it, I imagine.
Yeah.
Everything, I imagine.
£100. I wonder what I get for that. Everything, I imagine. I'm not imagining any of it. I would never pay for it.
So with Instagram stories, like, stop thinking of it as this afterthought and of this thing that, like, you know, is a ball ache or whatever, because it's the thing that's going to connect your followers to you on a far deeper level that's going to make them more likely to be your client. You're just accelerating that process. Now, look, if you didn't use Instagram stories whatsoever and you just focus on your feed, for example, yes, you may still get the odd client here and there, but it's going to take you a lot longer to form that relationship with people over time. And it comes back to something we've talked about in previous videos, where once you've built a better relationship over time, let's say it takes you 6 months to build a really good relationship on Instagram stories with someone, then they go, right, this is the guy for me. I know what I want. They've seen your coaching. They've seen the results you get, right? That person will stay with you probably longer. They'll be a better client long term. They'll get better results. They'll shout about you more to their audience, to their friends, to their family. It all leads to better things going forward in your business. It just, unfortunately, is a bit of upfront work. Like I said, it's 3 months of talking to someone, 6 months of talking to someone before you get anything back from it. Don't expect the conversation to be like, 1 week I talked about coffee and then the next, they didn't sign up for coaching. Oh, that's a bit shit. No, they won't. Be patient. Like trying to get someone into bed. Don't rush it. The longer term relationships probably take a little bit longer. Probably have to wine and dine them and go on dates and spend some money on them. Fuck me, that sounds like hard work, doesn't it? Don't want to do that. But you have to do that. Yeah, there's a bit of an investment in that. There's a bit of time investment into it to figure out whether you like each other properly or not. So there you go. It's not a one night stand. Think of it that way.
That's it. So basically, to wrap up, what not to do: post the same stuff that every other coach is posting.
Actually, bonus tip as well: stop following other coaches' stories. Just remove all of them, mute them all, right? And start posting what you want to post, and start seeing what the people are posting more of, and you'll start to realise what we've said is the right thing to do. Now you can go on.
So to wrap up, stop posting what the next coach is doing.
Yeah.
It's not going to help you. Number 2, stop resharing, retagging, reposting memes, that other people have been reposting reels. Don't repost your own reel to your story. Like, you've just posted it on your feed. Don't repost it to your story. Stop doing that. And then the last thing that we've not spoke about is probably don't put up something that's been curated and taken within your camera roll. Don't put something up that's heavily logoed, branded. You know, again, think about it when you are looking at stories. It looks almost like inauthentic. It looks
like an advert.
It looks advert. It looks manicured. Instead, what your stories are for is for raw, organic, off the cuff content that's interesting, that's about someone's life, that gives deeper detail, that gives opinion. That's what you're doing it for. Yep. So go do those things.
Go do those things now. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well, because we're coming up with more gold, coming at you more regularly. Doing loads more vlogs as well soon. Got Gordon on board now. He's making us do all this shit we don't really want to do, but no, I'm joking. So yeah, we've loads more videos coming soon as well. Not just advice like this, sat down talking to you, but other stuff as well in terms of our life.
Even better stuff, man.
Better. Loads better.
Goodbye.
Thanks,